Hey guys, good evening and welcome to my exciting channel. We're discussing Mandela effects and the like. Thank you for joining in. Welcome all Mandela effectians. So I'm joined tonight with Teresa, Sandy, and Esther, and we're going to be talking about some various new effects that have come to our attention. We don't typically do a midweek show, but this one it just was so tantalizing. I could not resist. So without further ado, Teresa, you want to mention the birthdays for this week?
Sorry.
Teresa, are you there? You're muted right now. Hi, Anthony. Welcome.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Sorry about that. I'm sorry. Today's birthday is Lorraine Lamore and Michael Dessard. Happy birthday. September 2nd is Dee Dee Marie and Justin Mauck, M-A-U-C-K. September 3rd is Verbum Belater, and it's also Evan Matrata Sr., which is Moneybag 73 or 76, whatever way you remember it. So happy birthday, Moneybag 73 or 76 for September 3rd. September 9th, we have your dad's birthday, Brian.
Yep.
Thomas McFarlane, happy birthday, September 9th. Also sharing that day is Eric Draven. September 13th, we got Anthony Rogers, if you're in the chat. September 15th, we got Yvonne Rogers sharing it with Joshua Armstrong. And ending September 23rd is Shamron Beth. Brian and I go way back with her. I don't know if she's still in my group, but happy birthday, everyone. And happy birthday to you, Lorraine Lamore, today. Hope you had an awesome day. And I did put a post in my group, and I believe she's seen it because I tagged her. So happy birthday, everybody. September babies. And we got a holiday coming up too, Brian, if you want to talk about it. And I'm off four days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So I'm just bragging about my 4-day weekend. Yay.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Teresa. A lot of us can say that, we're off on Monday. We all worked hard for it.
Yep.
Yeah. So what were you going to say, Esther? You were about to say something, I think.
Go ahead, Esther.
Oh, I was just going to say happy birthday. And actually, I have two of my kids have birthdays this month. So.
Oh, really? Do you want to mention their first names, or is that?
No. Well, Ben's turning 10 and Charity's turning 11. So at the end of the month. So yeah,
that's awesome.
Birthdays, not this Sunday, but then the following Sunday. So we're going to be, I have a full month as well. So.
A full month? You mean?
Oh yeah, between birthdays and like everything else, because we're going to be attending a Comic-Con this Sunday, and so we've just got like all kinds of stuff going on.
So, oh wow, that's awesome. I know there's other Comic-Cons going on as well. I know there's one in Atlanta around this time.
Yeah, there's actually a couple around our area that typically go on, but the one that I go to is Boston. It typically is a little bit bigger. They typically bring out the bigger named.
Oh man, you'll have to get some pictures. Definitely have to get some pictures, Esther, and if you don't mind sharing them.
Yeah.
With the rest of us.
Yeah, I just wish some actors were coming that were like Mandela affected, because that would be awesome. I would have been like, that would have been so cool to go and like talk about that there. But as far as I know, I don't know if any of them do believe in it or not. So.
Yeah. And from what I understand, there's a new movie coming out that's, comic related, what is this movie?
I know Spider-Man. They're doing a multiverse one.
The Marvel, a Marvel movie coming out this Friday. Can anyone in the chat help me, please? Because I've seen previews for it. It's some kind of like Shang-Chi or something. Shang-Tzu. Anyway, that movie's coming out this Friday. Only available in theaters, which is a little bit different than what Disney has been doing, with their movies up to this point.
Yeah, did you hear about the new Spider-Man one that's coming out?
No, but I'm sure my son has.
Yeah, apparently that one is where he's supposed. I guess Doctor Strange accidentally opens a portal and opens it to like multiverse. So they're actually gonna. Like, it's a whole multiverse thing. It's a whole crossover. They've got like every Spider-Man and everything in it. So it's gonna be interesting. I think it's called No Going Home or something like that.
When's it coming out?
I'm not sure yet. I've just recently saw a trailer about it, and it looks pretty interesting because I said he
Wow.
accidentally messes it up when Doctor Strange is doing his spell thing that he's doing, and he opens up, like a whole universe. Basically, the time continuum is broken, and he opens up the multiverse and allows.
What's the name of the movie again? I'm sorry.
I think it's like No Going Home or something like that. It's called. It's a Spider-Man, brand new one that's supposed to be coming out. I think it's this fall. I think.
Mm-hmm. Wow, definitely want to check it out.
Shang-Chi, The Legends of Ten Rings.
That's the one. That's the one.
Brian wants to see it too. We all want to see it.
Isn't it coming out this Friday?
I'm not sure. Like,
I think it is. We have several people in the chat. Namely, Rena's here. Well, good to have you, Rena. We got Captain Kirk. Always a pleasure to have you. Maddie's here. We got Anthony Fettuccini.
Crunchy Bee, Karen Maloney.
All right. So let's get started. Which one of these should I dip into first, Sandy? Which one of these effects should I crack open first?
Real quick, Brian, the Shangri, it says it's supposed to release September 3rd. So
yeah, that's this weekend.
Some people's birthdays is coming out on, so maybe they can go out and watch a cool movie on their birthday.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, no way.
While you're at it, try to sneak me in too, Esther, okay?
Spider-Man is the No Way Home, and that release date is December 17th. So I'm looking forward to seeing that one.
Brian?
Yeah, me too.
You're gonna have to refresh Flickr. I added another folder.
Okay.
But just in case Teresa falls asleep, why don't you do Teresa's folders?
I'm still awake for now.
Exactly.
I know the same way.
For now, I don't know.
Teresa.
Okay.
I don't know. My one cup of coffee, I'm hanging on to that since this morning.
I don't drink coffee, and guys, it's been 3 weeks since I quit drinking Cokes, and I've lost over 10 pounds. I know it. Yep.
All right. Can everybody see that?
I can.
Okay. So what is this? Teresa,
let me read it.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Sandy made some awesome graphics once again. Have you ever heard of the Tiwanaku Empire and the mystery of Puma Punku? This is a weird one, I know. Great graphics, Sandy.
Thank you, Teresa.
This one I just recently found, right, Sandy? Like literally just found.
Yes.
It's like brand new. Nobody's even seen this yet. So
just yes or no in the chat, guys. Have you heard of this place?
I was like, no way.
So
Me too. I've never heard of it. Esther, have you? Brian?
No.
I don't even know how to pronounce it.
I probably said it wrong.
This sounds like something that you'd see on Ancient Aliens or some TV show.
Yeah.
Like that.
Okay, let's see what it's saying.
Let's talk about that.
You got to zoom into that one. Yeah.
Maddie says
Puma Punku is an architectural. Punku is the archaeological. Okay, I'm not reading tonight. Site that is still mostly buried. Its stones are what makes this place unique. Located in Bolivia, the site is thought to have been built by Tiwanaku. Oh, let her say it. Empire which flourished from 300 to 1000 AD. Oh, wow.
I like maybe it's Mandela. You think they said ancient Taco Bell? Kind of does look like it.
Ancient
Although
Sesame
those stones
Street.
look pretty new, like the quality.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting you should say that. Go on, Brian.
Go on, Brian.
All right. I was waiting to hear those magical words.
It
Thank you.
literally looks like they just took all those stones and just
The
plopped them there.
stones themselves were recently discovered to be a geopolymer or an organic concrete, so the stones themselves are man-made. Oh.
Guys, man-made stone. 300 to 1000 AD.
What? No. There's no way.
I'm telling Teresa
No
about her
way.
Mandela effect.
I didn't. Sandy did all the research. I just found it and I'm like, okay. Sandy had to dig deep. I don't know how she did this. Wow.
All right, Brian,
Man-made.
you can go on.
Next.
That makes
We
me
have a
think
lot.
you must have been super duper smart, and then we've just been getting dumber.
The carvings are interesting to say the least.
I
Geometric
feel like we've been in
patterns,
the opposite way.
letters H and T, and faces, including one that say is an alien.
Some
What?
say it's an alien, yeah.
Oh,
Kind of does look like it.
yeah, it looks like it.
But isn't the H like spot on weird? That's an H.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, that looks like a T, the one on the right. Maybe they're trying to spell my name out. You get it? TH. Never mind.
UHC. That works really well.
Captain Kirk,
Right.
I will check with Curiouser since she's from Colorado to see if she knows of that place.
Next, please.
Yes,
All right.
Brian.
Oh, zoom in, please. Besides the alien theories, crazy patterns, and man-made stones, there are two mysteries surrounding the site. The first is how they got there. Geologists have determined that materials are from 70 miles away. They would not have had the means to. Oh, I can't read the bottom of that.
Brian, we can't see the bottom.
It's blocking.
Okay, sorry.
Means to move these massive stones that far. Oh,
We have a spaceship that teleports stuff.
the second thing is they seem to be either have their own or are able to affect Earth's magnetic field. Oh Lord, Sandy,
All right,
you've got a
Brian,
lot of words.
this is where the video comes in, Brian.
Okay.
Okay, how much of that do you want me to play?
The whole thing. It's 3 minutes. It's not long.
Okay, you sure it won't get copyright?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just someone. I mean, it's not like a National Geographic or anything. It's just showing you, and we can talk over this. It's just showing you divining rods, I think they're called, and compasses, how they react near these stones.
What? Are you
Wow.
serious? Wow.
And I think he says that as he goes to different stones, it goes in different directions.
No way.
Yeah, like
Sandy,
here they
I
were
didn't-
going clockwise before, and I think they go counterclockwise here.
Oh my God. I didn't realize this was that deep,
No.
Sandy.
No.
I guess this was a good find, right, Sandy?
Yeah.
Wow.
And what are those things? They look like copper wires attached to a battery, or what is that?
They're called divining rods. Guys, if you guys know the
Wow.
actual name of these, please let me know in the chat. I'm like guessing here.
That's blowing my mind.
It had a
All right,
cataclysm.
Coming up will be the
They look
compass.
like modern day masonry blocks,
Yeah.
like cinder block.
And they're so like precision cut that a razor blade can't even fit into the opening.
No.
Dowsing rods. That's it. Dowsing rods. Thank
Yes.
you, John Nada.
Dowsing.
So
That's it.
here's compasses now.
Compasses are affected by it. What?
Whoa. That's crazy.
Hmm.
Oh my
What
god.
is that? Oh, that's another compass.
Look at it moving.
There must be some sort of magnetic field in there and stuff that causes that.
Okay, magnetometer. Looks like an iPhone app. Whoa.
Love
Look
those
how high it
apps.
goes. Look how high it goes when it's close.
Oh my god.
That's
Yeah, there's
crazy.
something
Sandy,
up
huh?
There's something up with these stones.
Yeah, I really think that like humanity has gotten like less smart. Like, they keep saying that we're so intelligent, and I don't see that as a real theory. I've actually heard like, oh, I think it was about 15 years ago, this guy was talking about how they found old skeletons that were dug up from like Egypt that had brain surgery done on them because they could actually see where like they had gotten through the skull and stuff, which they didn't die from the head injury. It was an actual, like, they actually went in and did like brain surgery back like a long, like this was like 2,000 years ago. That they had actually brain surgery back then.
I've actually
And
seen
then
it in the Reader's. No, I don't know if it's Reader's Digest, but there used to be like a book collection back in the 80s. Might have been Time, like Mysteries of the Universe or something. A book, like a book of the month or book, something like that. And I remember seeing it was like a square cut in the skull. That's crazy.
Sorry, just reading Maddie's comment. Measuring how racist the rocks are.
Maddie says
That's
ancient
funny.
brain surgery is called trepanation.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of interesting how, you know, they did that. And apparently they're finding other things where they used to go in and do like other body things as well.
That's the next question.
Have you ever heard? Uh-oh. My phone be too high. Have you ever heard of this place or seen stones like this before? Have you ever heard of the Tiwanaku Empire? This is all new to us.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I know it's new to me, so.
Well, apparently to some people in the chat it's not, but to us it totally is.
Guys, I gotta leave and come back. You guys are all muffly. I'll be right back.
No, just kidding. That's me putting my hand over my mouth. Yeah. It says over 9,000 years old.
They're famous places that I've never heard of, and I did research.
You talking about this place, Puma Punku?
Yeah, Maddie's saying it's a famous place, but in your reality it is. In my reality, it never existed until recently.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't do as much research on places like that, so.
I'm constantly doing research in places like this. Like constantly.
So do you want to read that, or you want me to read it?
Oh, we already read that. That's out of place. That's a duplicate.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay. We're done. We're done the folder.
Sweet. All right.
I mean, there were more pictures. Do you see pictures?
I'm looking at the. I'm trying to find the pictures now.
They should be at the very end.
It's actually getting
There you
cold.
go. There they are.
There they are. Okay.
Oh, wow.
That looks like a swastika. What?
It's the peace symbol.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where it was supposed to derive from. It's the peace symbol. Which doesn't really make much sense with everything that they did. Like, they kind of did the opposite with it.
Because they claim to be doing stuff peacefully.
That one on the right hand side on the top, that almost looks Mayan or Mayan or however you pronounce that. It almost looks like it.
Yeah, this civilization predated the Incas, I believe.
It just looks kind of similar to their type of.
Yep, I agree.
The other ones, I don't know. I look at it. I'm thinking Tetris. Oh,
Is Teresa back, Brian?
Let me look backstage.
maybe somebody with really big eyes hit it really hard, and that's
There we go. We got Teresa back.
Sorry, it was weird. You guys all went muffly on me. It was like really bizarre. Like
It's okay.
I couldn't understand what anybody was saying. Sorry.
We're looking at more pictures of
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
Punku.
Tungu.
Thank you, Sandy. You found a lot of awesome pictures. Thank you.
in a jewelry box on the left hand side, a pair of earrings, and where they kept them with the giant
Whoa.
people that they had.
I don't understand why they needed the carvings they did. I mean, it could just be for art. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I'm thinking these things are molds. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Maybe
they could be because it's a concrete. It's very possible.
And they could have poured volcanic, what do you call that, magma into
Right,
it.
but I need you to think about something. If it's a mold, how did they get the mold so precisely cut?
Exactly.
That's a good question.
Bolivia, John Nada.
Yeah, they definitely had help from somewhere. I mean, I don't know.
Bolivia, yeah.
I'm surprised this hasn't been covered before.
Yeah, maybe they Googled it. Amazon Prime.
I mean, just as sometimes we're affected by specific Mandela effects and we're not affected by others. The same thing can go for places on Earth. Like it was in their reality. That's fine. The amount of research I do, I'm constantly researching. For me to have never heard of this, that seems so odd. So odd.
Bolivia, right? That's where it was at.
Huh?
You said it was Bolivia. John Otto was asking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bolivia. All right. So true or false, guys? Kmart once had a fast food restaurant chain. I'm not talking about a cafeteria in the store or a restaurant in the store. True or false? They had a fast food restaurant chain. I'm asking true or false, do you remember?
My word. What did they feed you there?
Believe it or not, the answer is right on the screen right now.
Instead of plates, did they use shoes?
Crunchy Bee says no.
I don't remember that.
False says Dave Summers. No way says Maddie.
When was that? Like the 70s, maybe? The picture just kind of. I mean,
John Nada says, I removed the cafe inside. Not in my reality. I don't remember. It says R1, the fourth side of 3 is 1. All right. Brian, do you?
I have no recollection of that.
Okay. We can go on because I know Esther doesn't remember. And I know Teresa doesn't remember. And I don't remember, but.
No way. I would have remembered that.
my grandparents loved to shop at Kmart. That was their store. And if they had a mart, they would have also eaten there.
Esther, what state did your grandparents live?
New Hampshire.
All right, then they wouldn't have known it. Okay,
This reminds me, hang on, this reminds me of the McDonald's pizza. I don't remember McDonald's serving pizza either.
Okay, well, this isn't just a pizza. This is a whole store. named Kmart Chef. The first location opened in 1967 as a standalone restaurant in the Pontiac, Michigan Kmart parking lot. They literally built it in the parking lot, a whole building.
Oh, well, that's new to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know about the Pizza Hut thing, or not the pizza thing at McDonald's until about 2017. I think it was 2016.
While the
Oh,
chain was considered small in comparison to other fast food giants, they expanded eventually, adding restaurants in New Mexico, Illinois, Pennsylvania, my state, Kansas, Missouri, and Texas, as well as more Michigan locations.
okay.
So they were not, it's not like they were just in Michigan. They were actually pretty spread out all over the place, which is kind of weird. Usually you will expand in surrounding areas or a region, but they went to like every region in the United States. New Mexico, that's pretty west. Texas, pretty south. So is Missouri. Illinois, pretty north. And Pennsylvania is pretty east. Kansas. It's just odd. It's odd. They don't, I don't know. Fast, like retail store chains don't usually expand like that in that way. Right?
Yep.
You can go on.
Oh, is Teresa
Okay,
on the backstage again?
Yeah, is Teresa backstage?
hold on. Let me see.
I just realized there was only 3 of us there.
Nope, she's not backstage.
Ah.
I thought you were doing Teresa's first, but
Well, I did the Puma Punku was Teresa's.
yeah, but there's another one. That's hers.
Oh.
Maybe she had a sudden, oops, I need to fall asleep. Came out suddenly.
Unless you already covered it. Did you cover her river?
Yeah, I covered the river already.
Oh, all right. Then never mind. I thought you didn't cover it. I thought Curious who did. I'll message her. I'll message her.
Okay.
You want to go on and we'll just.
Yeah, did you already read this one?
No, I didn't get it. You took it off the screen.
Oh, is it not on the screen?
No.
I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
There we go. We got Teresa back.
Oh, good.
Sorry
Teresa,
about
can I
that. I
hear
hit
you?
a wrong button.
It's okay.
Huh?
I said it's okay.
I'm here? Is this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kmart Chef had different
Oh my
types of
God.
restaurants too. It wasn't just like your standard restaurant. There were different types. A typical fast food drive-through style with indoor seating, a drive-in style with car hops, and cafeteria style where people would grab a tray, pick the food they wanted, and then sit down and eat in a booth. And that's what you're seeing on the screen here. So
Wow.
they couldn't decide what kind of restaurant they wanted. They just did them all. That's another odd thing. Seems weird.
Oh my God.
Indecisive, huh?
Where? I got a question. Where exactly was these restaurants? Because they weren't in Florida, where I'm from. I don't remember them.
I already said the states, Teresa. No, they were not in Florida.
No.
Oh.
The closest one to
okay.
you is Missouri.
That's probably why I don't remember it. Yeah, I don't remember it.
Yeah, but you don't think we would have heard of this at least? I don't know.
Mm-mm.
I like
No.
reading weird facts and strange things, and I'm not just weird. I haven't heard of
It's
this.
interesting.
Brian, you
I
can go
mean,
on.
I would have went to it if it was in Florida. I would have been like, I want to try this out. Mom, take me. Dad, take me.
Wasn't anywhere I've lived.
No.
Yeah,
But it was in the state I lived.
interesting.
I live, I should say. Brian,
Bye.
Yep.
go
Next.
on.
So many options.
Burger, 55 cents. Oh, that's going to break my bank.
Their
Their
menu
menu-
offerings
We
were,
have that in my cup holder.
their menu offerings were fast food staples, burgers, French fries, hot dogs, fried chicken, fruit drinks, soft drinks, and pies.
Wow.
They even had a signature burger called the Big K, similar to the Whopper.
Or Big
Hmm.
Mac.
And if it was good.
I wish
Big
we could
Mac.
go back to those prices. We could actually, afford to live again.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we can only take the pay that we make now and go back and buy the items at those prices.
That would solve poverty. I can't say this is a Mandela effect for sure because Kmart Chef officially closed all of their locations 2 years before I was born in 1974. But I do think it's strange. I've never ever heard of this. Have you guys, or if you're old enough, have you ever eaten at this restaurant? I asked my parents. They were in the area. They've never heard of it. So I don't know. It's weird. I got more pictures. Oh no, that's it. The pictures. There weren't many pictures online for this.
All right, and they were open 7 days a week too. So if let's say Chick-fil-A was closed or something like that, you could go hop over to Kmart Chef.
Oh yeah, and one of the weird things about that
Kmart.
image, they're advertising that it's fully carpeted. I didn't know that was like a plus, but apparently it was.
I don't know, but why would you want
Sandy, was it shag?
I don't know.
I love the shag.
Yeah.
Groovy
Wouldn't it
man.
be like a health hazard? Like a I don't know. You can't mop them, you know what I'm saying?
You can vacuum.
Spill
Does
a
any-
Shampoo.
that rug.
Does anybody remember a store called Pick and Save?
I
Yes,
do.
I've heard of it.
It sounds
Okay.
familiar.
Okay, I'm just
Uh-huh.
wondering.
Yep.
Not a Mandela effect. I just thought I'd bring it up because it's sort of like Kmart.
Yep. Yep.
Well, maybe it's Mandela and John Nada. Are you saying that you had the Kmart? Or is that just something different?
Where? Is my
Oh, just
thing
one on
not
there.
scrolling? Oh, my chat. I hate that. I don't know why it does
What?
that. The chat doesn't scroll up.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, maybe it's Mandela said mine had a little diner area. It was creepy pizza place. And John Nada said mine had icy drinks. The first place to have them in the 70s and 80s.
Oh, I remember the icy drinks. Yeah, those were good. I always got
Ours
cola.
didn't because we had a Clover that had them.
You guys up north we call them Slurpees.
Yeah.
No, we had both of them, Brian.
You had
Up north.
Slurpees and
Yeah, we had both.
ices.
Yeah, icy.
Yeah.
It depends on which chain you go to. 7-Eleven is Slurpee,
Yep.
and Wawa's icy.
Yep.
That might be a Slurpee.
Yeah.
No, that's a Slurpee. No, that's an icy. We have different ones. We have both.
right,
We
so-
have slush puppies too.
Yeah.
Sandy, who do you want to talk about this one? Do you want to talk about this one, or do you want?
Ron, you can do it, Brian, if you want. Or
All right, so Back to the Future looks like has changed again, and I have the look of Doc Emmett Brown here.
God.
Pretty soon it
We
won't
just
be.
keep changing.
And
It won't even be the actors pretty soon.
well, not to mention, Sandy, you see the remote control he's holding? I don't remember all those wires being exposed right there.
yeah, it's a mess.
That looks weird. Did that change too?
I honestly couldn't tell you.
All right, so
it
just-
does look
Sandy.
big and bulky to me.
we're polling the chat right now, asking you guys to help us out here. Which clock tower do you remember in Back to the Future, the original Back to the Future 1 movie?
Now,
Actually, it's been all
I
three of them. It's been all
uploaded the
three of them.
wrong. I uploaded the wrong image. I had words in there. So
Oh,
1 is weather vane,
okay.
2 is lightning rod, and 3 is nothing. So what do you
Okay.
remember on top?
1, 2, or 3, post the number in the chat. We're going to go to the chat right now. All All right.
I feel like we covered this, or Sandy and I talked about this. I'm not sure.
We talked about it. I never covered this. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we stayed up late last week.
So is this one on my channel for the first time? Is this the first time people are seeing this?
It is, Brian.
Oh, thank you, Sandy. I appreciate that.
No problem. Just do me a favor. Save the other new one for last.
I got it. Teresa, can you say save the clock tower several times for the chat, please?
Save the clock tower. Ding, 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 the cup.
Save the clock tower. Like, lightning hit that clock 30 years ago. Right?
Lightning hit that clock 30 years ago.
Oh, Lord, guys. Every
we're-
answer is in the chat. Dave
Okay, we've
Summers
got-
says 3. John Nada says 2 ? R1 says 1 and 3.
Well, he says A and C, but I guess he means
1 and 3.
1 and 3.
Maddie is a 2. Sunset Forever 29 is a 1. Maybe it's Mandela saying a flag. She's
All right.
coming in with a 4.
All right. So we've got several 2s. We got a 1. We got a 3. We got a 1 and a 3. So let's. Should we unveil it now, Sandy?
Yeah, and there's more. There's a lot of questions in this presentation. Not questions, but there's a lot of stuff in here. So we should get moving. There's 23 slides.
All right. All right. So you want me to read that, Sandy?
In my past, there was never anything on top of that building. I just want to point out the image on the bottom right. The image in the top left is from the second movie. The image in the bottom right is like a backlot studio tour. It's supposed to be like a replica of the building. And Brian,
Yeah.
notice something is missing on it. I can't say it what it is now, but notice that something is missing. Also,
On which image?
on the one on the right, from the back.
Oh, I know what's missing.
Yeah, you see it? Okay.
Yeah, the 2. Can I say it?
Yeah, don't say it.
The 2 gargoyles,
Okay, I didn't want you to say it, but okay.
or whatever those things are. Okay, so
They're Panthers now, I believe.
are they Panthers? I don't know.
Yeah, they are.
Okay. All right, but it always had a bulky weather vane until.
So, guys, the answer is 1.
That's what the answer is. It always was a weather vane. Is anybody shocked in the chat?
Especially looking at the weather vane.
Yeah, I want to see if anyone's shocked.
Like, it looks like a tripod sitting on top of the building. And in some images, it looks like a cross.
Yeah, I remember we were talking about it. It was like, I remember there was something that the lightning struck, and I finally remembered it was that pole that was coming off from the actual clock. I don't remember it coming off the top of the building. Because remember, I had to get struck by lightning to go down the thing.
Esther, we're going to be talking about that next. I don't want to leave the chat.
Yeah.
We got to wait one second.
Yeah, it was like I finally remembered what that was that I was trying to remember the last time we talked about it. But yeah, I don't remember being anything on top, which is what would make sense why it would have struck the clock.
Yeah.
Because if you had a lightning rod, it wouldn't have broken the clock. It would have hit the lightning rod.
Yeah. But it always had a bulky weather vane until. Next image, Brian. Where do you remember the lightning striking the clock tower? The weather vane or the clock?
So is this
Stay here,
another?
Brian. Don't move, Brian. Stay away from that arrow. So here we have an image showing both. So 1 or 2 in the chat, guys. What do you remember? I mean, obviously Dave Summers can't remember 1 because he doesn't remember anything on top of it. So Maddie remembers clock. But that's not true, actually. So Dave Summers doesn't remember a lightning rod or weather vane, but remembers it striking the weather vane. Jeff Zanzibar is a 1.
Hey, Brian,
Mm-hmm.
did you mention that's my birthday too, November 12th? Not the
Yeah,
year,
that's
though.
November 12th, 19.
No, I wasn't
55.
born no 1955.
Curious and
Oh, you were
Curious's in
born.
the
You were
chat.
born in 1960. No, I can't say it because then they'll know your exact birthday.
I'm
But
not ashamed how old I am. Nobody thinks I'm this old all the
well,
time.
November 12th is the day that Marty went back. He went back to the future on that day. Remember he
Curious?
stayed. Don't you remember he stayed in 1955 for 1 week?
Yeah.
Yes, he did. Yes.
And then he went back on the same day that he left.
All right. Can I go to the next image yet?
No. Curious and Curious's in the chat. She says 2. John Nada says 2. I thought Dave Summers says I thought that Doc added the rod later. That's what I was waiting to hear, Dave. That's awesome. That is what I was waiting to hear. All right, we can go on.
All right.
Okay. In my past, the lightning struck the face of the clock. Now it strikes the weather vane in a sweeping motion that Brian does not remember,
No.
making contact from the left. So it goes across the sky and then comes back and strikes the weather vane from the left. I remember the lightning coming straight down from the right and striking the clock near the minute hand.
But also, Sandy, I don't recall there being a burn mark or something on the clock like that.
I do, though. This is enlarged. I made it larger so you guys can see it. After the lightning strike, it looked like a shriveled lightning rod. So that weather vane now looks like this shriveled lightning rod. But the interesting part for me is there is a mark on the clock where I remember the lightning strike in the second in Back to the Future 2.
Yeah, that does seem familiar to me.
You know what else is weird? That you remember when Doc fell? No, there's no
Yes.
way that weather vane would have supported his weight.
No. And that's why I can agree with Dave Summers that Doc added something to the roof to hook that stuff up. I can agree with that. I have a memory of that. But now there is no Doc adding anything on the roof. There's no scene of that. I watched it again today to double check to make sure I didn't miss something. All right. I also have a strong memory of Doc trying to throw the cable and hook it onto the second hand. So if you can imagine, Doc is dangling from the roof.
Yes.
Okay. I have a memory of him trying to toss the cable onto the second hand. I don't know why I have this memory because it's not in the movie, but I have this memory of him trying to toss it onto the second hand. Not there. Just wanted to share that I have this memory. Instead, the cable dangles from the roof and it's attached to the weather vane. Like most of you probably remember it. What's going on,
No,
Brian?
it does sound familiar with him trying to throw it on the second hand. I mean, I'm literally I can picture it in my head, like what he's doing. Like I remember that.
Yeah, but it's not in the film at all. All
No,
right, so
I need
here's
to
the
watch
current
that.
reality. I'm sorry, go on, Esther.
I was gonna say I need to write that down so I can watch that tomorrow.
Okay.
To watch Back to the Future.
It's
Or at
been a
least
little
the clip.
while.
So,
Yeah, so I'm just
especially-
looking at the, Sandy, I'm sorry interrupting here, but I don't recall there being that lightning rod at all or anything, actually, because look how bent it looks. What, don't you think they would have fixed it?
you would think, or removed it or something.
And I
But-
don't remember the burn mark on the clock either.
I do remember the burn mark, but like I said, I don't remember anything up there, and these all look wrong to me. So wrong. I mean, the Funko Pop doll. Look how. First of all, it's white in the movie, and they like stone colored, and they have it black. The one on the left looks like a cross. The one at the top, it's in the middle it's like a Lego thing or something. So it's bizarre looking, like an F. I don't know. It's just I don't remember anything up there. It all looks bizarre. So here's a close up of how it looks with the burn mark and the burned weather vane on the Save the Clock Tower button. That's the actual button from in the movie, like a prop. The one on top right straight up looks like a cross to me. Straight up like a cross. The middle right is a scene from the movie when Marty first sees the clock chimes and he looks up.
Was that back in 1955?
That's 1955, and it looks like there's a cross on top. It looks like a cross.
Yeah, so Doc hasn't even conducted the experiment yet.
No, that's totally up there. There's a lightning rod on the middle left. On the bottom right, that's the diagram he made on how to send them back, and it's got the big weather vane on it. Look how big that weather vane is.
Well, it's huge.
Yeah, it's huge, just like the one on the right.
Now, this is residue, I guess, from what you found.
Yeah.
And the building looks normal. There's nothing funny going on here with the weather vane or anything. Again, there's some more residue.
I didn't even know there was a third lightning strike. A lightning strike in the third one. That was the Wild West.
Wait, there was a third lightning strike?
He said R1 saying the first movie it hit the vane, the third one hit the clock. That wouldn't make any sense because the third one happened in the past.
Right.
In 1955, there was no burn mark. And then in 1985 and later, there was a burn mark.
Now, I actually I ordered one of the T-shirts. My T-shirt. I ordered this T-shirt right here. Save the Clock Tower. It should be here tomorrow.
All right, Brian, show them the top image on the left because that's actually from the movie. That is the actual weather vane from the movie. Make sure they see the actual weather vane.
Yeah, so you can tell it's an actual weather vane.
It's kind of crazy looking.
And
I agree, Maddie. I agree.
So Rob, this was a Robert Zemeckis film, like he directed it, right? And then Steven Spielberg is the one who produced it.
I think so, yeah.
I always thought Steven Spielberg directed it, but I was wrong.
Here's residue of the lightning hitting the actual face of the clock. And notice that most of them are coming in from the right. Actually, they're all coming in from the right. And they're all putting it right where that mark is on the face of the clock. All right, next question. Some other things have changed for me. Look at this image from the film. I took the rest of the word out. What word comes after flux on this paper? Begins with a C. What is the word that you remember on this paper as he holds it up to Marty? I'm going to ask the panel to refrain from answering until the chat does. Come on, guys. No one remembers him holding up this paper to Marty? Jeff Zanzibar says capacitor. Maddie says capacitor, of course. R1 says capacitor. Ice Chip S5000, welcome, says capacitor. Dave Summers says capacitor. Okay, while the more answers are coming through, Esther, what do you remember?
Oh, sorry. For what word was on the paper under the word flux? I thought it was capacitor.
Capacitor. Teresa, what do you remember?
Flux capacitor.
And
Definitely.
thank you to Teresa, because Teresa has found the only piece of residue I could find. Brian, what about
one-
you?
Capacitor.
Okay. Everybody knows this, says Maddie. Go
Hang on,
Brian.
I gotta get to the chat real quick and show some of the answers on screen.
Okay.
Okay, it looks like we have
You're not showing any of the answers on screen.
capacitor.
Oh, you're doing that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm showing the answers. Maddie says, yeah, everyone knows this.
Everyone knows it.
Oh, John Nada.
If it's Maddie says if it's anything but capacitor, I'm going to be pissed.
Maddie,
John Nada said flux off.
take some deep breaths. Deep breath in.
Deep breath in.
Deep breath out. Because now, next slide, Brian, it says compression. Compression. Flux compression. I remember this paper saying capacitor, while the characters only call it a flux capacitor. This paper now reads flux compression. Do you guys remember it?
Maybe
Next
the
image.
art department didn't know how to spell the word capacitor.
Apparently not.
It's in the script 100 times, but I don't know how to spell it. I mean,
Go to the next image, Brian. It shows better images of it.
That's literally what Marty says, like over and over and over again.
The flux capacitor.
Yeah, they say capacitor. They never say compression. The paper is what's changed. So this person has a tattoo with flux compression. A tattoo. Flux compression.
Whoa. Well, maybe in the movie they're going to change it to compression. Maybe that's the start of it.
They better not.
If they do, that's going to be like, what? Oh, my word. 'Cause, I mean,
Well,
that's
it would just be odd to write flux compression and not capacitor then, if it's just a function of it.
I mean, they see it so many times in the movie that it's like it's hard to not remember that one word.
Why would they never, ever, ever, ever say compression then? What would be the point of putting it on the paper?
Well, there's residue here from what Sandy found.
No, Teresa found.
Oh, Teresa found this.
Teresa found them.
Okay. Good job, Teresa.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to have to scrape that tat off.
So this paper you can buy to hang on your wall is identical to the paper in the movie, except it says capacitor. Like I remember.
Mm-hmm.
But wait, there's more. Keep going, Brian. This is like speed round now. So this is the wire in question is the wire that the car drove under to go back to 1985 at the end of part 1. I don't remember that wire looking red.
Oh no, it was
It's
black.
now. It's red now.
No. You talking about in 1955 or 85? Yeah, that's 55, Doc.
That's 55.
1955, Doc.
You guys remember the
He
red
was
wire in the
on the
chat,
toilet.
Esther?
I thought it was black. I always remember it being black because I remember like him actually like
Stay there, Brian.
holding it.
I don't remember this store in 1985 Town Square. Do you? The third.
I do, but only it was when I was researching more into the Mandela effect. I don't remember it before discovering the Mandela effect.
I've never seen that store before, and it's right behind her head. The clock tower lady.
Hey, Sandy, don't forget to mention my graffiti.
It's in there. Your graffiti. That's an old one. I didn't include that. I included the other thing.
Yeah, I know.
You
I know.
mentioned it afterwards, but no, this is only new stuff in here.
Yeah, I've actually noticed in like more and more shows where if you look at the background, there'll be those subtle things where talking about the third eye thing.
This isn't subtle. This is in your face pyramid third eye craziness.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's on the door. It's on the window. It's on the banner.
Yeah.
I can't
Well, I mean,
even.
so like I've seen it on like other TV shows where like they'll walk by a window or something and it's like in the window, and I'm like, oh, they'll show it for just like that split second.
Wait, what?
So
Doc is wearing a headset.
Yeah, he's wearing a headset microphone now. I don't remember
No,
that.
no freaking way. No, he had just a regular goggles on, the regular mirror glasses.
I agree. I agree. I saw this today and I was like, what the heck is that? In the chat, and Esther and Teresa, if she's still awake, do you guys remember the little microphone thing that comes down on the stick on Doc when he says, "It's your kids, Marty"?
I just remember it
Pile up
being
into the car. Something's got to be done about your kids.
Jeff says he got Britney's headset. You know, Britney Spears.
That's what I thought. Honest to God, that is the thought that went through my head when I saw it. I'm like, that's where the "Oops, I Did It Again" headset went.
He stole it from Britney.
He stole it from Britney.
I do remember the eyeglass thing that he was wearing. I don't remember the other thing. Because who was he be talking to unless he was supposed to be like on a cell phone and trying to talk into a weird microphone?
That would have been good because back in 87 or 88 when it came out?
Yeah.
89. We
Although
didn't have those.
They did have those portable phones in everybody's car apparently. I never heard of those like actual like phones in their cars.
Yeah, car phones. I'm talking. They didn't have those microphone headsets for phone calls. You know what I'm saying? Like if anything, they would have looked like 1980s foam headphones with like a big foam ball at the end. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I was reading Maddie's comment. Compression and compactness are opposite values, kind of. You think about it, one's compression, you're pushing it together, and the other one is capacitor, the capacity. Like you think about it, that's two totally different words.
Yep. That word should not be there. Brian, do you want to show the graffiti?
Yeah.
And then I'll send you a picture of the awning that I showed you the other day. Which may be in that logos folder, I don't know. I'll just send you the picture. Actually, I deleted it. Oh, we still have more. I'm so sorry, guys. So, Brian, why don't you read it? It's yours.
Okay, so I noticed something as well. I kind of remember these two statues facing each other, facing the clock. Actually, I remember Doc getting frightened by one of them, and he was looking straight at it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I found residue, Brian.
he did.
The Ghostbuster dogs.
Yeah, they look like the Ghostbuster dogs. So one piece of residue. That's all you found.
Yep, that's all I could find. Everything.
Now, where did you get that? Where did you find that residue?
Google.
Oh my God, crazy!
Those
I don't remember them being that far from the clock, though. I don't
But
remember
they're
them being
they're
that.
facing the clock though. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Oh,
remember
what about,
being right next to it, like right underneath them.
what about the graffiti? I didn't see the images for the graffiti. Is it on
That's what I
there?
said. There's no. Well, let's finish the folder first. There should be.
Yeah, the folder is finished.
Okay. No, I said this is only new stuff. You have to Google
Oh, okay.
for the
Uh-huh.
graffiti. This would
You
be a
said last
rewind,
week,
guys. Brian found this whatchamacallit, graffiti 2-3 years ago now.
Yeah, it's several years ago I found this one. There's just like graffiti.
Wasn't it last week we were talking about the awnings and stuff like that was like all destroyed?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking. I'm looking for that image now. It's then, Brian.
You guys, tell me, you guys in the chat who've seen this movie dozens of times. Do you remember this graffiti on the school in 1985?
I don't. I mean, I do now because I've known about this couple of years, but prior to you asking me, I never saw that before.
All right.
Of course, I could not find that image. My that video was telling me that my storage was low, so I deleted all the photos that I had. Turns out it was lying to me. All right, I got it. I was going to take a screenshot and send it to you.
Jeff Zanzibar says he doesn't remember the graffiti.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to rewatch this movie again because I just feel like there's so much has changed.
There you go, Brian. And then,
Well, like I said, the remote control that Doc is using, I don't remember all those wires being exposed. It was just a black box around the wires, and the long antenna coming
yeah,
out,
yes, it did remind me more of like a remote control for
like an RC controller. Yeah.
yes, like an RC controller for a car, like a toy car or something, a little bit bigger.
Or even
All right,
like, it reminds me of what my grandpa used to fly those little planes, and it was, I don't know, it kind of looks more like what he used to use. It was like, it almost looked like a boom box, but with handles, with like joysticks on it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
All right. So the actor who portrayed the 10th Doctor in Doctor
Who.
Who.
You're going to show the awning first. I sent it to you from last week.
All right.
And I think it's only fair Esther's going to read this one when we get to it.
You guys, are you guys seeing this on the screen?
We're seeing the Doctor Who.
Doctor Who, yeah. Let's. You want to read this one? Esther, can you read this?
Yeah.
Sorry.
The actor who portrayed the 10th Doctor in the popular BBC series Doctor Who, David, and how do you spell his last name?
Yeah, we can't say it. We can't say it, guys. We're sorry. There's a problem.
I think
I
this
will-
is the first time we've ever been on the phone before, like ever like done anything live where I was like speechless. Oh.
Esther got to see my process.
it was like 3 a.m, and I'm like sitting there, because I remember a couple weeks ago I told her that I thought his last name looked odd to me. There was something off, and I don't know if I should say his last name or it's I'm
No, we
seeing some
can't
people
say it
saying
because
that.
it's pronounced different ways, so we can't say it.
Yeah, I thought that was odd too, like the new spelling. It's like, yeah, it would
Oh,
grow up.
Sandy, I need to go back to that image that you just sent me. I'm sorry. With this, just keep this in mind, guys. Give me 1 second. Let me go back. Sandy sent me something really important to share with you guys with the Back to the Future business.
If you never
Okay,
saw that show, some other shows that he was on, Broadchurch, The Escape Artist, Secret Smile. He did some theater with Broadway of Hamlet. He did, what was the thing called? Much Ado About Nothing. I think he did that one as well. He did, there's many, many shows. Deadwater Fell. These are just things I'm thinking off the top of my head. So if you're thinking of other shows that maybe you've seen him in, Fright Night, also he was in that.
You said Fright Night?
Yep.
Right?
I don't remember. Okay, guys, listen. So, in theme with the graffiti at the school, now everything's run down in the town square. This store in the background is going out of business, and the awnings are all ripped up. Do you remember this happening in '85? So we can get back to Doctor Who.
I'm trying to think of like the. Oh, I know one. I'm trying to think of the American stuff that he's done. That might ring some bells for people.
Well, I can just go to IMDb too.
Yeah. This is off the top of my head because I love his acting ability. I literally just watched The Escape Artist yesterday. So I love it. So like he did the American Virgin Grace Point of Broadchurch, Bad Samaritan, which premiered over here in America.
Most recently, Jessica Jones.
Yes, he was in Jessica Jones.
Around the World in 80 Days TV series.
He's also Scrooge McDuck.
Yes, DuckTales.
Yes,
And
because he's
Duck-
actually Scottish.
The Duckburg Life. Mm-hmm. Final Space TV series. The Sandman TV series. He played Loki in 2021. The voice of Loki.
Mm-hmm.
Good Omens TV series. How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. He was a voiceover.
Postman Pete, he was in that. I'm just going off my memory. Sorry, I'm not looking at IMDb. I have seen so many things that I owned the Decoy Bride as well. It was amazing. His co-star was a Scottish actress who actually does the voice for the lady for Brave, and he had to play an American, which he did on Bad Samaritan as well. He played an American.
Okay, so if they don't know it by now, they're not going to know it. We've given them plenty of references. Brian, can we go back to Doctor Who, please?
Yep. Did you want to talk about this before we go back to Doctor Who?
I already did, Brian.
Okay. Sorry.
Jeff Sandoval said no way. Very little urban decay in Back to the Future, says Maddie.
Yeah.
No, it begins with a T, Maddie.
Shatner. No. No.
All right, so go ahead, Esther. You're reading this one.
Well, his last name is Tennant. So it's David Tennant. So, and I actually spelt it out to Sandy because I have a dual memory. Because recently I was looking up his name again, or looking up his thing, and I spelled it Tennant. That's the current, but we also have dual memories on Tennet,
Yeah,
which
Brian, go to the next slide, Brian.
Okay.
which really
So
freaks
she
me
can
out
read it
because I'm like,
because she's reading everything I wrote, but she's not reading it. There you go. Top end. Can you see the top and the bottom?
yep. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a huge Doctor Who fan, especially of the 9th and 10th and the 11th Doctors. And it's driving me crazy because I'm having a complete dual memory of this man's name. Neither one is his name now, though. And it's Billy. Yeah, actually, just recently, they were in the group. They were actually talking about his tie. How one of the group members was having issues with his ties had changed and became more detailed. So that was another change too, which is kind of why I was trying to make sure I remembered how to spell his name and everything. Because I'm like, oh no, things are changing. I found a couple of little changes as well. Like, but I felt like unless you're a diehard fan, you wouldn't really notice the changes. Uh-oh, Sandy's backstage again.
Oh boy.
So I was wondering why she wasn't commenting. Oh. Yeah, so I am a huge David Tennant fan. So, I mean, I know his actual real name is McDonald. So he changed it to Tennant because there was already someone in the Screen Actors Guild with that name. So he had to pick a name,
Wait,
and it just happened to be that.
Esther, we need to go to the next slide because my dual memory is different from yours. My dual memory is, well, this is his background. Go ahead, read it.
Born David MacDonald, the Scottish actor decided to use a stage name because someone else with the same name had already registered with the Actors Union.
Equity.
Sorry, yeah, there we go. So, yeah, I couldn't remember the name of that whole thing, but yeah, it's whatever they register with over there in the UK.
Mm-hmm. Next slide, Brian.
Okay.
I know here in America it's called.
Now, this is my dual memory. So,
yeah, a little too far.
Go ahead.
I can only read the. I think he cut off the top. You zoomed in too far. There we go. So he decided to change his last name and choose Pet Shop Boys frontman's name, Neil Tennant. Do you remember him as David Tennant? His last name looks wrong and way too long.
So you're saying you remember Tennant and this. And I don't remember this at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tennant
Next
is how
slide, Brian, so we can see what I remember finally. I'm going to write in the chat what I remember.
Do I leave it on the slide?
No. You're going to the next one.
All right.
Sorry. I remember both David Tennant and David Tennant. Sorry if I'm messing that.
One N.
Yeah. Not only is there residue for both names, but there's even residue for both names for Neil and Pet Shop Boys fame. Oh, wow. You found that too.
I did. Go on, Brian. He's not.
Yeah, I remember it was like a boy band or something like that. That was like he just picked it out of a magazine.
I do not remember 3 N's in his name. That's the key. I do not remember 3 N's. So these are all mixed up. We got David Tennant on this page. Brian, you can go through these fast. There's a lot because there's multiple different things I'm showing here.
Okay. Tenet, like Tennet, that's what you remember?
That's one of the ways I remember. So this is Tennant.
That one says 10 ants with one N.
Yeah, one N. I remember one N. Tenant sounds right, and so does Tenet. They both sound right to me, but it was never spelled with 3 N's. So I think his name could have changed twice.
Yeah, I remember it being the Tennet. That's my dual memory. It's back and forth. Like I've been scribbling all night, like going back and forth. I'm like, those are the two, because it just doesn't look
So there's
right.
Neil Tennant, because he's flying through them. I have to.
So is it David or Neil? Which one is it?
Oh, David.
No, Neil's the guy he chose his name after.
Yeah. He just thought it sounded good, like it flowed and sounded good. I still couldn't find that thing I had that was the sewing kit.
Yeah, that's weird how it says, where's David Tennant? And it says Tenet. That's weird.
A lot of people remember Tennant. And like I said, I have residue of Neil Tennant too. And Jeff Zanzibar says, never saw the show, but I know the actor, and I remember Tennant with 1 N, not 2.
Okay.
They both had 2 N's, Jeff Zanzibar says. The 3 N's is what's wrong for me the most.
Maybe if they showed a picture of like his face instead of the TARDIS, they might have recognized him a little bit. So, Doctor Who.
Yeah, but I did show it in the next image. We was talking about his name being David McDonald.
Yeah, see, that's
why I
what
did
I
that.
remember right there. So I'm having a duel on both of those because I remember it being like almost spelt backwards and frontwards. I think actually it is spelled backwards or frontwards.
Like
I believe it was even a joke I made about that. About how you could spell his name, but it's both 10 frontwards and backwards.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that does make more sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was just kind of interesting because he was the 10th Doctor, and they're like 10 back and forth, frontwards or backwards. Either way, he still makes 10.
And Jeff Zanzibar says, Tenet looks familiar too, but I'm not sure from what.
Yeah, since it's spelled the Tennant, that's the current. So that's where I think I'm out of the duel because of the fact that I've been seeing it spelled that way recently, and all of my posts that I've posted on like Facebook and anywhere, I actually did write it that way. So I'm like, well, apparently everything how I've spelt it has always been that way, but I do have dual memories, and it's freaking me out because it's like, okay, how do I remember this old way of spelling it if it was never spelled that way?
Yeah.
So.
And when I was going through this with Esther, originally she just straight up said it was Tennant.
Yeah.
And the more residue I showed her, the more upset she got.
It was like,
so bad.
I was just like, I pulled out my DVDs and everything. I couldn't find anything on there written like with. I own the Decoy Bride and I own the whole Doctor Who box set, and I couldn't find it anywhere where it was spelled differently. And I was like, oh, I was so hoping to be able to find it somewhere. So I was hoping that I had like an actual piece in my hand that was residue. And like I said, that's why I was trying to find the doll, the doll costumes that I had. I'm guessing I probably tossed it without, thinking like, oh, I'm probably never going to make this. And I literally would have gotten rid of those just like a couple months ago. And I'm like kicking myself. Unless there's somewhere stuck in a box somewhere that I just haven't been able to find. But if I ever do find it, I will post it on the group. So in the Mandela Residue Hunters group. So
That would be great.
but, I mean, it's not like
Is this the last one, Brian?
It is. That's the last one for tonight.
Okay.
We're on the last one.
Guys, actress BB Newirth portrayed the doctor on Cheers. This doctor on Cheers. Dr. Lilith. I'm making it a T.
Well, it's also from Frasier. She's from Frasier as well.
Yeah, she's from Frasier as well. That's Dr. Lilith Dash Crane. So Jeff Zanzibar remembers Sternin.
Oh man, I'm spacing on this name. I do know who she is. I just honestly can't remember the word you're looking for.
I just watched it recently. That's why I'm like.
This is one of the few shows that I actually did get to watch when it was on.
I watched it too religiously. I'd stay up late for it.
Yeah. Obviously,
Probably
my dad
8,
didn't know we
9,
watched
10.
the show since it was all about.
We stayed up as a family to watch it.
Yeah. Oh, my dad was very strict about what we could watch, so it was like, yeah, my dad wouldn't like us watching the show. So, but we watched it, you know. Being a teenager.
Maddie says Dr. Joan Cusack. Kind of does look like her there. Hey, man, Danny Mo, we're on the last one for the night.
She was the uptight, never had any fun, hair always super, super tight, and like looked like she never had a fun day in her life.
Yeah.
Looks like she would know what to do with an ice cream cone.
Cold-hearted.
Yeah.
Stuck up.
Yeah, I remember there was one episode they did confront her about that, and she was trying to have fun.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah,
okay, so we're not getting any other answers in the chat. So I'm just gonna. Well, Brian, do you remember or no?
So when it went Jeff Zanzibar, that was funny.
I don't remember. This is her middle name?
No, it's her last name before she married Frasier.
Oh, her maiden name.
On Cheers.
Yes.
No, I don't know it.
I cannot not
That's
remember.
okay.
We used to say it all the time.
Well, the only answer in the chat is current reality. So we're going to just go on, Brian.
Okay.
In my past, her last name was a wordplay on her character. She was a stern woman, and her last name for me was Stern, not Sternin. Stern. Dr. Lilith Stern. And people may say, well, maybe, did they really? She said her name all the time. She introduced herself as Dr. Lilith Stern. But it is Sternin now. Not in my past at all.
Does she introduce herself still as Sternin? I mean, now does she introduce herself?
Yeah, it's Sternin.
I think recently it was just uploaded on one of those platforms, and I was thinking about rewatching it.
So here's a Hulu description. Dr. Lilith Stern.
Wait.
Oh, wow.
What is up with the spelling of psychology there? That's how you spell psychology.
Where's psychology? Oh, it's cut off because of the
Oh.
It's cut off because of the magnification.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's a weird word there.
Yeah, here's paper. Cheers won 26 Emmys. Dr. Lois Stern. This is interesting. This person tweets, Ann Veal might have the best named character on TV. Lilith Stern, though, because Stern was after her character. I heart Lilith Stern. BB Newworth is Dr. Lilith Stern in Frasier. I believe you, Jeff. This is a solid memory for me, though, too.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't really say one way or the other.
It sounds like it would be Stern instead of Sternin.
There's a ton of residue. I even cut half of it out because there was too much.
Mm-hmm.
I found it odd. There was a tweet that said Lilith Stern Crane cheers and Frasier. No, you're misremembering as usual. I found that weird. That was on the graphic.
Wow.
Oh, I thought you had made it.
I thought you did too.
Oh no, that was part of the tweet.
Oh, it's funny. Lois Stern. Mm-mm.
I'm just going to flip through some of these since these are all residues showing Stern.
Yep.
Is that all the graphics, Sandy? It looks like it.
Huh?
I think that's the last image, unless there's more.
That is the last image.
All right.
No, there is
Well,
more. I just didn't include them.
I hope we still have some
Lilith
Mandela
Stern.
effects. I hope we still have some Mandela effects left over for the weekend. Maybe. I mean, we'll see we'll see what we come across. You guys have any suggestions?
No, I still have a ton.
I don't know how Sandy and Teresa find all these things. I just don't know how you do it.
Well,
I used to find them. I used to come across Mandela effects like all the time, and now it's just like I don't see them as much. Doesn't mean I'm not affected. I just don't see them as much. And you guys have a natural talent at finding these, like the Doc Emmett Brown one with the that one got me tonight. The one with the mouthpiece up under his sunglasses.
Mm-hmm. I know.
That got me tonight. Any big ones?
Compression didn't get you?
Yeah, that got me too. No, that one got me too. Is flux capacitor.
Oh yeah, I
used
still
them forever.
use like
Never anything
compression.
else.
I haven't heard. I've never heard it say compression, so it totally. For a second there, I was like, "What are we talking about again?" I'm like, "Oh, capacitor." Oh, that's so weird.
Yeah,
That's
it
just
is.
weird.
It's so weird.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to rewatch that
Oh, that's
movie.
good.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, sorry to hear about what happened to you about the Mandy Mal.
What happened?
Or no, sorry, not Mandy Mal. Sorry, wrong. I was reading the wrong statement.
Oh man, Captain Kirk says his home growing up has a purple roof now. That's strange. Wow.
The Captain Kirk. That's who I was trying to comment on.
Okay. Man,
Yeah.
we had an awesome night. I know it's middle of the week. A lot of us have to go to school and work in the morning, so we'll end it here. Guys, have a great Mandela Effect night. God bless, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Have a great night, everyone. Thanks
Have a
for
great
being
night, guys.
here.
Bye.